Okay. So this is a problem, but not the reason why you think it might be. This is a post from Keeping Current Matters, and they create great content. I love what they do, but I feel like they're creating this dichotomy between they're like, hey, look at all of the equity that you could have had you been owning a home in the last few years. They're like, look at a homeowner has $400,000 almost of equity, and renters only have you know, $10,000 of net worth. Look at the dichotomy between homeowners and renters. And I'm like, this is sending the wrong message. The reason why people aren't choosing to own a home isn't because they don't want to have a greater net worth. Of course, everybody would want to have a higher net worth. So all we're really doing with posts like this is pouring salt in a wound. Like we're like, hey, come here, come here. Look at all the equity you could have had if you had just rented or owned a home instead of renting. We're like, what are we asking them to do? Time travel? Hey, everybody who got pushed out of the market and affordability is at an all-time low that's close to what it was in the 80s during the savings and loan crisis. Hey, all of you guys, go ahead and own a home because then you can have a better net worth. This isn't the problem. The problem isn't understanding the value of homeownership. The problem is in affordability. And I don't think that approaching people who are renting, choosing to rent versus people who already own a home in a way that shows this great contrast is helpful for anyone. We're it almost feels condescending. It feels like it's lacking empathy. It feels like it's lacking sympathy for people who were not able to buy a home at the right time. And then all of a sudden they got pushed out of the market and they're sitting on the sidelines choosing to rent because renting is 60% more affordable to rent a home right now than it is to purchase. So instead of approaching renters like Zoolander when he comes and sees the model of the modeling university, he's like, "What is that? A school for ants?" And instead of approaching people like, "What is that? A net worth for ants? It should be at least 10 times that size." I think instead of doing that, we should be like, "Hey, listen, be building, be preparing." We should approach people who are choosing to rent in a way that has more empathy instead of a way that's like, hey, what you should do is grab a time machine and go back 3 years, 4 years from now, and then start buying a house so that you can build your net worth like the rest of the homeowners who have done it. I don't love the messaging, and I feel like it can be approached differently, that we can show value in a way that's more empathetic to people instead of a way that creates this dichotomy that just feels unattainable. So, end rant, end scene.